Hello everyone, welcome back to Archangel RC. I haven't uploaded anything in a while because the weather has been bad around here for over 2 weeks, but this past weekend I did manage to get some flying done and it was epic. As some of you may know, Feiyu Tech discontinued their hobby line of gimbals, which really left a huge vacuum in that market. And trust me when I tell you, huge. Their stuff was pretty awesome and I do hope they realize their mistake and bring them back. Until then though, I had to find an alternative, so I got me one of these Tarot 3D 3TL3T01 gimbals. My god, that's a mouthful. Which are pretty similar to the Feiyu Tech's Mini 3D gimbal, sadly not the Pro version with the unlimited 360-degree rotation, but it is still okay if it stabilizes well. Even design-wise, this gimbal resembles the Feiyu Tech ones pretty close, which I take as a good sign if that would be any indication how it will operate. In general, it has the same functionality, 3 axes, a few working modes, pitch and yaw control, can take a variety of GoPro 3 or 4 sized and shaped cameras, and has a video out cable for GoPro and compatible cameras, which is wired internally to the gimbal, which makes getting FPV out of this one very easy. In case your camera doesn't work with a supplied GoPro cable, you can always DIY your own cable by cutting off the GoPro USB connector and soldering your own cable there. After confirming that everything is working on the gimbal, I proceeded to make room for it on the Crosswind, and that involved cutting into the nose. I didn't do the best job in the world, could have gone better for sure, but as long as the gimbal is securely mounted there, I am happy. A quick wiring job to power it and take the video out, and I was ready to hit the skies. First takeoff with the gimbal, I really can't say that the plane feels it at all, but then again the Crosswind was designed to hold weight, so no surprises there. However, for this flight I was still using the old and tired LiPo battery, so apart from a short mission, it wasn't enough to get me to the top of the mountain. After the flight was over, I went back to my workshop and started putting together a lithium-ion battery in a 6S6P configuration, but that build will be a separate video, so subscribe if you don't want to miss it. So, with a brand new 20,000 mAh 6S lithium-ion battery pack, I was ready to try again, and this time I also happened upon an awesome day as far as weather was concerned. No wind to speak of, even at altitude, although I would have much preferred to have seen some clouds instead of the poisonous fog that was covering the city, but oh well. I'd survive somehow. So after another perfect takeoff, now also some 220 grams heavier because of the lithium ion pack, and after running a very special 30-kilometer auto mission with a very heartwarming results, I now had plenty of energy to make it up the mountain all the way to the top, and oh boy, what a view. Like I already said, even that high there was no wind and the plane was flying super smooth. Even so, you might notice some floating, shall we say, in the image, and as it turned out, that is caused by vibrations coming from the motors and props because I never really balanced them properly. After I was done circling the top, I cut the motors and started gliding down along one of the slopes, and as you can see from this moment on, there is no floating in the video, no vibrations, just a perfect image from the Firefly 8S camera and some pretty impressive stabilization from the Tarot gimbal. You will notice that when I throttle up a bit later, the vibrations showed up immediately, but they are not there when the motors are off, which tells me that even at speed this gimbal is handling things like a champ, and definitely on par with the Feiyu gimbals, which is awesome news. Other good news is that they have a version of this gimbal for the GoPro Session, and I hope other similarly shaped and sized cameras, and also for the GoPro 5, 6 and 7 type of cameras, and my assumption is that only the brackets are different and perhaps slightly different PIDs to account for the weight differences, otherwise they should operate pretty much the same. There is also some PC software for this gimbal where you can adjust channel ranges, operating modes and other settings, but really, if everything is working okay, there is no need to adjust anything. You know, if it works, don't touch it. else it stops working and then all of a sudden the manufacturer is at fault. But seriously, since I have PVM channels connected, I can only use 2, and that right now limits me to mode selection and pitch control, but I'm more interested in yaw and pitch control and don't much care for the modes, so might do these changes. Or if I split the S-bus cable from my receiver, since this gimbal can accept an S-bus signal, I might be able to have all 3 functions if it can see channels from 10 to 12, but I guess I'll have to try that out at some point. In any case, I really didn't know what to expect out of this gimbal, but I'm glad it surprised me in a good way. This gives me so much hope, even without the unlimited 360 rotation, that we now have a viable option for planes which actually works really well, if you remember to balance your props before flight, that is. But even so, over these 2 flights, which total over 2 hours of operating time, it has proven itself at variety of speeds and plane attitudes, and I'm truly happy I decided to give this gimbal a try. Be sure that more flights will follow now that the Crosswind can stay in the air for 2 hours with the lithium-ion battery, and hopefully more when I replace the props and motors for something more efficient. So there is something for you guys to look forward to in the coming weeks. I just love this. Now, just in case you're interested, links for the stuff shown or used in this video can be found in the description below, and using any of them to buy literally anything from those websites would help support this channel, and you will have my eternal gratitude, as that is how I make my living. Another way you can support me is Patreon, the link is also there, and I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to all the people who have supported me so far in any way and would continue to do so. If you have enjoyed this video and found it useful, please feel free to like, share and subscribe if you haven't already, and also consider following me on Facebook for more regular updates. I wish you happy and successful flying, and until next time.